You won't believe it. This old man suddenly hit the brakes to enjoy his freedom before getting caught. He's serving a life sentence, but still wants a taste of liberty. After a marathon effort, the officers finally caught the last fugitive, and the female cop's first drug bust hit her instructor looking like he was about to give a There it was, a used syringe dangling from her waist, a true treasure in the land of bad decisions. That syringe had more than just souvenirs, but little did little May know. When Hank pulled it out, the sight of blood left her heart in free fall. If she got a nasty surprise, her career might just take its final blow, so we whisked her and the officer off to a nearby health warehouse for a bacteria checkup. May embarked on searching for a potential new product she might be infected with AIDS and hepatitis undoubtedly being the best sellers among them. Hank attempted to reassure her that it wasn't a serious matter to simply wait for the results to come out, whereas May merely desired a brief moment alone in the bathroom to calm down. This lady was observant. May sensed something was off. After she left, May entered the toilet to find a mysterious snack bucket and an odd cap. So she bolted after the woman, and in a comedic twist, she ended up kicking her way into a hospital room. Turns out, her brother was once an athlete but now a veggie due to an accident, and she thought about liberating him to solve her problems. May desperately tried to reason with her, saying, "You can't just decide your brother's future." But the woman was clearly not in a listening. "I've got to stop her." Panic hit May. Just then, the doctor appeared with the test results like a scene from a drama. Plot twist incoming. The results were all negative, except for a slight staph infection. Just a little antibiotic magic would do the trick. May sighed in relief, returning to the station, when an elderly lady arrived driving a suitcase, claiming to have historical artifacts. She said her dad was a WW2 veteran and claimed the stuff was supposed to be a souvenir, but now she decided it was better off with the cops. The guard opened the suitcase and found historical weapons. The deeper he dug, the more bizarre, even a towel-wrapped landmine. Everyone was shocked. It was hard to believe. They instantly called the bomb squad, but the lady coolly replied, "No worries, I've got plenty in my car." That day, the vice presidential motorcade passed through town, and the cops were on high alert, making sure there were no encountering trailers in sight. Just then, the Fu spotted the car idling behind a supermarket. Sensing the cunning vibe, he figured a heist was about to go down. The car's engine was running while waiting, definitely suspicious. So the cop decided to call for backup, but all forces were protecting the president, leaving them to fight alone. The Fu skillfully maneuvered through the driver's blind spot, inching closer like a lone wolf ready to interrogate. The driver confessed he was just keeping lookout, and that his buddies had been inside for a while. True to form. As soon as the cops swooped in, it was just like a cat chasing a mouse, only there were troubles in the middle. They called for backup again, but the nearest officers were 8 minutes away, a classic case of the old Mickey Mouse in action. The agents responsible for the president's safety also got the news and quickly relayed it to the team. "Oh boy, don't fault the old ladies for being overly harsh on you." Here, the veteran cop and robber stood off tensely, but Pez disobeyed orders and rushed in with his partner. With cover fire, they swiftly transported the injured perpetrator to the hospital, ensuring everyone's safety, ultimately happy ending for everyone. Meanwhile, the robbers were in a panic, bolting from the room hands up while backup arrived in a flash. A few armed robbers couldn't escape. Just when the bench finally exhaled, the female agent found Sheriff Gray. The mission to escort the vice president was a smash, but then she needed to report 2 officers who disobeyed orders, asking Gray for a justification. 2 white guys robbed the supermarket, only to be hilariously confronted by the owner with a shotgun. Talk about awkward. The cops told him to put the weapon down, but those 2 brothers seized the moment and bolted through the back, with the older one trying to escape via the ceiling. Unfortunately, he was caught. The younger brother fled out the back, chased by the old cop, who crashed into a home in panic. He even took an old man hostage. It was a messy situation for the old cop trying to stay calm under pressure. Cornered, the robber pulled out a gun and pointed it at the old cop, but it was about to become the most surprising moment. The old cop was dumbfounded. It was his first time facing a comedic ending. As the instructor reported the death, his heart sank again. Though they robbed his supermarket, due to the victim's identity, the old cop became the target. He wouldn't know if he was guilty until the investigation concluded. The old cop's mind was blank, and Gray was trying not to stir his emotions. During the next steps, the old cop followed the sheriff through the suspect process, feeling like he was on a merry-go-round. But as a veteran, the sheriff reassured him, every qualified officer has to go through this trial by fire. Just sleep it off, but before that, he had to consult a lawyer about what had happened. Then came the questioning from internal affairs and the district attorney, with the old cop like a ghost, stumbling through the repeated process. Finally, he handed in his badge to the internal affairs minister, who warned him not to contact anyone or leave the scene. Otherwise, it would drag more people down. The minister's little black sad, so half the precinct was investigated. Various Mickey Mouse incidents unfolded, spiraling out of control. The Fu brought back another robber. The robber learned about his brother's situation and his countenance darkened, realizing right then that his sibling might be in danger. Meanwhile, the older cop's questioning ended. Sheriff Gray, first time ever, drove him home, seeing his past self. The sheriff's consolation eased his mind a bit. The next morning, he arrived at the monitoring office, still pondering. Reviewing the old footage of the incident, tears streamed down as the old cop fell into deep self-reproach, blaming himself for everything. He knew deep down the robber was just a misguided youth, If only he had used a taser instead. So, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.